Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, 31st of May 2023. So wow, 5 months of this year already gone. Where does the time go? News headlines from yesterday. AI mania melt-up accelerates, but bonds, bullion and Bitcoin jump. And we're back to US stocks were cautious amid mixed data after hardliners voiced opposition to the debt ceiling deal. So not done yet, as they say. Stocks mixed on debt ceiling deal, but Nvidia helps Nasdaq outperform. I think Nvidia became one of the select $1 trillion club members yesterday as well. Let's have a look at economic news for today. German prelim CPI is out today, and we've also got financial stability review. Jolts from the US, and Harker is going to be speaking from the Fed at 5:30 p.m. there. So let's have a look at the markets. We'll kick off with the Dow and work our way through to the metals as we normally do. And in the Dow for yesterday, we can see that the market was down. The market didn't want to move back to the upside. It's like I say, the US debt ceiling is obviously weighing on the markets at the moment. A bit of reality check going on. So price is down yesterday and also down on the overnight at the moment. Straight through the 200 MA as well. 50 and 38 on the upside that we had is also being taken out as well. So let's get rid of those. The market's dominated by the downside on the overnight. So 50% retracement there. And then 62 also, but watch the 78 and 89 as well, because it ties in with a bigger 62 if the market does continue to the downside there. 30-minute chart up in the electronic session in the morning. As soon as mid-morning came along, we saw the market starting to find some weakness, and then the Dow in the afternoon piled on the weakness, which you can see there, but holding at the 200 MA. And also the BRN there, and also putting in an 89% retracement before managing to move back up to the 50 EMA and the S2 before the close of trade. But overnight the market's taken it out to the close, and now we're just very close to coming down to yesterday's low, where we saw the market move back to the upside. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we get to the low this morning. At the moment, we're about 89% retracement, aren't we? Yeah, just below it in that area. So don't be surprised if the market goes through and then they try and bring it back, because that's what they will do to begin with. In the German DAX, similar picture. We've got the market down for yesterday. Tried to hold but failed to do so. Now we're through 62 and also the 50 EMAs just in between this and the 78% retracement. We've got the 89 and then we've got the bigger 89 in there as well, which runs from there down to there. So let's see how the market fares when it does open, and I suspect that we're heading towards we're already through the low actually overnight. Let's just deal with that as I mentioned it. We're already through the low. We went through with selling as well, so with some conviction. We've got the S1 there. And interestingly enough, when this happens on the overnight, you tend to see the market do the opposite of what you think. Well, I can go short because it's going to continue to move lower, only to see it bounce back. So watch the futures when they open at 7 a.m. When you get this sort of activity, it gives you a pretty good clue. We've got the S2 there. If we get down to the S3, and there's a lot of support there at S3 as well, you can see with the multiple lines. So if we got down to that level, you could expect a good 90% plus chance that the market would turn around, unless there's something of a geopolitical nature stopping the market from moving lower. Yesterday, the market traded down to the Monday electronic low and then just moved all the way back up. We then did a double top before following the Dow down in the afternoon and then just trading sideways. But like I say, overnight, this weakness has continued as prices have now traded below yesterday's low. In the 5-minute chart, you'll see the shakeout there that we've got. It was a lot of up and down as well, sideways, but the momentum was to the upside. We hit the low, we've got the two demands there, and then off we went back to the upside. And then you see the moving averages spread out and all be in the right order. And each time the market came back to the 5-bar moving average, it continued to bounce off this and then move to the upside. We then saw further weakness coming in down to the 50, back up again. There's your double top in there, and then didn't hold, and then following the Dow. And overnight prices moving down through the low. It's become a resistance area there as well. I noticed that it tried to get back but failed and has moved low. But you can see we've got a bit of activity down here now at the S1, and that's what I'm saying. If you don't look at the volume and you just think, well, I'll trade the price action, and it goes, the market's down, so it's going to go down, and then they tend to bring it back, or they'll shake it out a bit further and then reverse it sharply. That's another trick that you'll see with the sort of price action of the pros. So trades for yesterday, 157.50, 3.10 for the profit factor, and 50-50. I tried a couple of longs that got taken out, but again, it doesn't matter. Still ahead, even with 50-50. So it's the perfect example there of flipping a coin and still making a profit. As long as you keep those losses tiny, it doesn't matter, and let the ones that do go in your favour, keep them going as long as you can. In the S&P 500, actually looking a lot stronger than the Dow and the DAX. It was up, but it still sold off yesterday. You can see the volume there making its way down. These are the downside targets. We're below the 5-bar moving average, but at 50% you've got the 20-bar moving average there as a secondary support as well. And in the 30-minute chart, we were up in the electronic session, down in the cash session, down to the S3. Market finds support there. Market bounces off, comes back and has a look at the low, and then back to the DP, and then back to yesterday's low on the overnight at the moment, where it's finding a bit of support, and it's certainly oversold there. In the FTSE 100, also a down day and follow through overnight as well. We've closed below the 200 MA, which is important that we stay above this. So we've got a bit of a death cross going on there as the market heads down towards 78 and 89. Look at the 30-minute charts, and unlike the DAX that managed to move to the upside, the FTSE 100 moved lower all the way through and just accelerated with the Dow, and overnight we've already taken out the low there as well. In the currencies, GBP JPY sideways yesterday, but the market overnight is seeing some weakness down at the 50% retracement at the moment from the last swing up, and the market has other levels that it can trade down to, and again at 89 you've got this 20-bar moving average that could lend support. In the 30-minute chart, choppy session yesterday, market up through the close, then back down to the S1. You see the buying coming in at that level as well, and then they reverse the market up, take it through Monday's high and the R1. We come back 62% retracement. By the looks of things, let's just draw this one in. Yeah, just above 62, between that and 78. And then down she goes again. We find a bit of support as the market retraces 89 from there to there, and then back to the DP, where we've seen the market take out the low, the 200 MA, and the S1 as well. So some weakness there in the GBP JPY. In the pound, up sharply yesterday, but overnight already giving up those gains. In the 30-minute chart, you can see again, this so important to have these pivot points on the charts, and also the previous day's close and high as well. Really important in the sense that if you don't have these on the chart, you'll wonder why the market stops at these levels. So again, you can see the demand, you can see the pound moving up, and it went up over 100, just under 100 points, and then overnight the market's come by, but nowhere near yesterday's low at the moment. And in the US dollar overnight, the market up yesterday, mixed on the downside, which is why bullion jumped yesterday, because the dollar came down. But the dollar regaining ground overnight there, as can be seen. We're about 62%. About 62% off the previous high there. So, it's still got potential to go back up towards the 200 MA there. And in the silver market yesterday, you can see prices finding a bit of support at 62, the golden ratio, as the market moved lower to begin with, and then sideways to lower overnight. I don't know whether this will hold with the dollar moving higher as it's done. We saw the market retrace, move back up to the R1 yesterday. News at lunchtime, but in a range. It's nothing major here with the silver price at the moment. And then sideways overnight, but managing to stay above the DP. Needs to take out yesterday's high if it is to move to the upside convincingly. In the daily chart of gold, we can see the pop in the prices yesterday, and heading back towards that 62 area at the moment. In the 30 minutes, one-way bet for gold yesterday, regaining ground from Monday's electronic pummeling. A nice move to the upside there yesterday. You can see why they said that it popped. Coming back off Monday's high, and at the moment finding support overnight at the 50 EMA, as it can be seen there, and now just heading back towards yesterday's high. And finally, in the gold-silver ratio, gold outperforming silver at the moment as the bars are green. So this moving back up, and like I say, we're probably still going to end up going back towards the 90 level there. Okay, that's it for this one. If there's anything to report, I'll let you know. But otherwise, have a great day. And as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.